Assalamu alaikum boys, welcome to again. We have first chapter our geography of the Muslim world, and in this chapter we are having the second part of this chapter. And before I will start this topic today, first I would like to ask you that you people are having Fajr prayer regularly. I hope so. I think. And let's move to our today topics. Before we start this chapter, I would like to ask you people, I would like to keep you acknowledge that the following topics we will learn today, and these topics are the term physical features, main mountains regions, natural vegetations, deserts, deserts area, tropical rainforest, and production of good farm crops. तो ये तमाम टॉपिक्स आज जो है हम जो है स्टडी करेंगे. When this class today will over, you will have to know, you will have to learn these topics properly, and you should have answered the informations about the following topics. You must know the topics, these topics, after ending of the class. Okay, so let's move to the our next slides. We'll see what's happening in the next slides and what we are learning in the next slides. Okay boys, thank you. Yes boys, now here we are just going to discuss about the physical feature. What do we understand by the term physical features? So again, what are the physical features on the earth's surface that has been formed by nature? For example, like the features that we have on earth, like mountain, deserts, hills, rivers, lakes, plateaus. These are the part of the physical features, and they add the beauty of the nature as well. Here we are going to discuss about the physical features in the Muslim world. So let's start with the first physical feature, that are the mountains. So here we are going to discuss about the main mountains of the Muslim world. So now so in this slides, and there is very clearly mentions, you can see there is a different types of earth physical features. For examples, mountain, hills, plateaus, plains, deserts, lakes, rivers, astray, and delta. So these are the things are counted as the physical features of the earth, and there is also some examples in front of all headings. You can see the different names of physical features. For example, mountains in Pakistan, there are the different mountains like Himalayas, Karakorams, Hindu Kush. So these are the mountains examples. So similarly, there is a following headlines like hills, they have a different examples. Now let's move to the next slide to understand more about the physical features. So here we are going to discuss about the physical features in the Muslim world. So let's start with the first physical feature, that are the mountain. So here we are going to discuss about the main mountain regions. The Atlas range in North Africa, highland of Ethiopia, Yemen, and southern end of Saudi Arabia. These forms the main mountains regions. Okay, and when we talk about the highest regions of all the present in Afghanistan, and when we talk about Pakistan, we particularly talk about Hindu Kush and Karakoram mountains, and they are really very beautiful mountains and the attractions for the tourist. So here, two things to keep in mind. The main mountains regions are in the Atlas range is North Africa, highlands of Ethiopia, Yemen, and southern ends of Saudi Arabia, and the highest regions are formed in Afghanistan and in Pakistan by Hindu Kush and Karakoram mountains. So this is the basic information you have to learn. Okay. So well students, here you can see the natural vegetation of the Muslim world, the map. What is the natural vegetation? Vegetation means the plants and grow and natural that they grow naturally. Okay, so they can be herb, shrubs, small plants having sparse vegetations or heavy natural vegetations, but they add to the beauty of the nature and beauty of the land. Fine. So here we are going to discuss the map of natural vegetations of the Muslim world. On the left side, you can see the classifications of natural vegetations, which things comes under the headings of natural vegetations: your forest, your rain forest, your grasslands, your scrublands, deserts, ice caps, marsh, swamps. These are all the things that comes under the category of natural vegetations. So on the left side again you can see the detail with the help of the color, and on the right side you can see the Muslim world and how much clearly they are identify which with the help of colors. So we are going to further discuss in detail. So when I talk about natural vegetation in the Muslim world, the highest vegetation in the Muslim worlds are present in Malaysia, Indonesia. These are things we will get in the next slide. Let's move to the next slide. Yes, here again, so when I talk about the natural vegetation in the Muslim world, the highest vegetations in the Muslim worlds are present in Malaysia, Indonesia, and some part of Africa. And apart from these three places, Muslim world has a very little or low vegetation, because more than of the half whole area is deserts. And there are the different types of deserts there. For example, some are hot deserts. What do we understand by the term hot deserts? What is the mean that temperature is of course extremely hard. There with the sparse vegetations, sparse means very little vegetations. Some are temperate deserts. Temperate deserts are found in the temperate regions. And what do we understand the word temperate? That the weather or the temperature there is a very much cold. And again with the sparse vegetation means again little vegetations. The common things between hot deserts and temperate desert is that is the speciality of the deserts, that they receive the minimum amount of annual rainfall. Okay, boys. Now students, now let's move to the next slide. Here boys, you can see in this slide some of the areas semi-deserts. Now here the word semi means half deserts. Why it is half deserts? Let's read the definition. An arid area that has some characteristics of the desert but has a greater and well rainfall. Now here semi-desert is how different from hot deserts and a temporary deserts, because both those deserts receive the minimum amount of the annual rainfall, but semi-desert receives the greater amount of annual rainfall. इट मीन्स जो सेमी डेजर्ट्स होता है उसमें बारिश थोड़ी सी ज़्यादा होती है, और जो हार्ड डेजर्ट होता है उसमें बारिश कम होती है. देन सम ऑफ द एरिया इज दिस scrubland, the area that has rough and tough shrubs, mixed herbs, and consisting of the low herbs. So ये तमाम बुशेस होती हैं, झाड़ियाँ होती हैं, घास फूस होती है, उसको हम कहते हैं shrubs, herbs. ठीक है. So again the crops area is the area, the scrubs vegetations or the rough vegetation consisting of the low shrubs mixed with the grasses or herbs. अब इसमें यह कहा जा रहा है जो वो एरिया जहाँ पर फसलें उगती हैं उसके साथ साथ कुछ ऐसी जो है वो झाड़ियाँ भी उग जाती हैं जो वेजिटेशन के पर जो वेजिटेशन के लिए घास फूस के ज़रिए क्रॉप्स के साथ वो भी उग जाती हैं. तो हम उस इन जो नेचुरल वेजिटेशंस में आती हैं. ठीक है. क्रॉप्स जो है वो क्या है, इंसान उसको उगाता है, और उसके साथ साथ कुछ ऐसी झाड़ियाँ होती हैं जो रेनफॉल की वजह से, ठीक है, जो ऐसे रफ़ वेजिटेशन उसमें हो जाती है जिसको हम श्रब्स कहते हैं, मिक्स श्रब्स कहते हैं, घास कहते हैं, ग्रासेस कहते हैं या घास कहते हैं, वो इनके साथ साथ उग जाती हैं. तो ये तमाम नेचुरल वेजिटेशन के अंदर ये चीज़ें काउंट होती हैं. देखते हैं अब नेक्स्ट स्लाइड में बेटा. Okay boys, so for your better understanding, here are the pictures you can barely understand with the help of these pictures. In the first two pictures you can see there is hot deserts and cold deserts. The similarities are that they have sparse vegetations. You can see very little vegetations you on clear distance, and they receives the minimal amount of annual rainfall. So on the third pictures you can see the semi-deserts. There is a good amount of vegetations because they receive the maximum amount of the rainfall or the greater amount of annual rainfall. Here you can see the scrubland. The scrubland has a rough land and rough vegetations with the scrub and low grass mixed with the herbs. Again, here is the list. Here is a different types of, or the list of, you can see the different weathers in the pictures and the different atmosphere in the picture. So for your understanding about the deserts. Okay students, let's move to the next slide. Moving forward, let's discover about the desert areas. Their specialty is the desert area that tough plants grows there. By tough plants I means the plants that can survive the harsh climate or harsh condition of the deserts. Means the tough conditions, means the tough deserts, tough climate they can bear, they can afford, they can face. For example, cactus. Okay, now what is the benefits of these tough plants? They serve as a good source of food for the hardiest sheep and goats kept by them, nomadic or semi-nomadic people. So now here the term nomadic or semi-nomadic people, What do you understand by this? People who wander here and there to find out the food they call nomadic, whom and with the help of their flocks, herds, and their animals for searching food. Okay, so these peoples are non nomadic. Semi nomadic people, so tough plants that grow in desert area and serve as a good source of food for the hardiest sheep and goats that are kept who that are kept nomadic or semi-nomadic people. So it's very simple to understand that those people who moves from here and there with their herds and with their flocks to in search of food, they are called nomadic people, and those who move less than nomadic, they are called semi-nomadic people. So for their tough plants, people use to find out their foods with the source of food in the deserts area. Okay, now let's come to the next slide. As we know that forests are also the part of natural vegetations, here we are going to discuss about the tropical rainforest. Before explaining you the tropical rainforests, let's find out where they are found in the Muslim world. The considerable amount of, or you can say the considerable area of the tropical rainforests are found in Central Africa, Southeast Asia, and in the first picture you can see the picture of a tropical rainforest. You can see how much the lush green color it is right here. It's a looking fresh. So when it is a lush and green, so it produce the huge amount of timber that is used in making furniture and many other goods, and it is a huge source from where the rubber is produced. The rubber plants are there, and it is a good source of tropical fruits. In the second picture, you can see the tropical fruits more or less. Many of them we consume it as well. So that is actually the beauty of the tropical rainforest, that they produce is the huge amount of timber, rubber, tropical fruits, and where they are found, they are found in the Central Africa and Southeast Asia. So very simple to understand, boys. Wherever the tropical weather, the rainforest will be maximum amount, and the area will be look lush green. And due to this tropical weather, the rain will be too much. We can get too much timbers, we can get too much fruits, we can get too much rubber plants. So this way the tropical rainforest can increase the part of economy of any country. And if somebody will ask you which area are having the most tropical rainforest, so you can say Central Africa, Southeast Asia. So these are the areas where the huge amount of tropical rainforest. Now let's move to the next slide and let's see what's going on in the next slide. Okay, boys. Now let me discuss about the production of good farm crops. As we know that majority of the Muslim countries are very good in agriculture. They are the agricultural countries, and when I say agriculture countries, that means that they produce good amount of crops, and what could be the basic source of the production of good amount of crops? Water, of course. Value of the great rivers we are going to discuss here. For example, the Nile, the Tigris, the Euphrates, and Indus. These are the sources through which the good farm crops are being produced. Now, what is the reason behind? Because the soil is very much fertile and the plenty amount of water is available there. That is return produce a good amount of food crops. So very simple. When there is too much amount of rainfalls, there is a too much amount of food in return. And which are these areas, and which are the source of getting too much water? For example, the Nile, the Tigris, the Euphrates, and Indus. So these are the rivers which are the source of providing good amount of waters. In return, we get a good amount of food crops. Okay, boys? And this was our last slide for today class. I hope you will well understand about the crops, about the weather, about the different types of geographical terms, and so on so forth. Okay, boys? Now, inshallah, we will see in the next class and we will learn more. Okay?